Good morning. Let's hope that worked. Hopefully you can see me. If not, then I gotta go push a button. Can't even tell. Alright, I can see me. That's good. Can you? Whoops. Whoops! It could! Good morning, people. How are we today? Welcome to the Easy Stream, where we hang out in my fish room, and everything gets done all the time, and there's never any problems, and that's the way we like it.
That's lovely, that is.
Indeed. Speaking of that, let me look over here for something. I got a little scared this morning. I have a... Where is he? I have a Hoplo cat in this 175, or 125. And, came down this morning and he was like, belly up. Laying on the ground. I'm like, oh my god, he's dead. I'm like, that's not cool. He's a cool fish. So, it was kind of dark in here. So I turned the lights on. And then she just like spun around, woke up. I don't know if he was sleeping and he was just sleeping upside down, but he hasn't done it since. So I don't know. I'm going to do a water change in that tank anyway, just to be sure. But let me say good morning, people. Victor C., good morning. Thanks for being here. Bruiser, what's up, man? Good morning, good morning. Southwest Florida Aquatics in the house. Good morning, sir. Start Fresh Aquatics with Lando. Good morning, Lando.
Said, good
How you
morning,
doing, man?
Jason. All bells and whistles working.
Awesome, thank you. Anyway, good morning, Lando. Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane. Good morning, sir. Sketty Nonya. Good morning, good morning. Happy Father's Day. That's right, today's
said,
Father's
good morning,
Day.
Jason and all.
Oh my God.
Good to see you.
Good morning, good to see you. But happy Father's Day to everybody out there who might be a father. Lurker mode, taking care and having a wonderful day. All right. Well, thanks for being here, Sketty. Bionic Bigfoot. Good morning, sir. Good morning, good morning. What'd I do? What'd I do? Oh no. I skipped a whole bunch of stuff. Went straight to the bottom of the list. Hold on. Alright, let me go back. Here we go. Was it Bionic Bigfoot, Empire Dirt, Jeff Kane, good morning. Bipolar Fish Keeper, good morning, good morning. Jenny Lynn, good morning. Skipper's Aquarium, good morning.
Lando said doing good. And you?
Doing
Just
great,
getting
man.
back into the YouTube side of things and been looking forward to this stream since last night.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're here. Scotty the Fish Freak, good morning. Bipolar Fish Keeper, good morning, good morning. Dennis Christensen, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning. Window Liquor number 5, what up, man? Good morning. See, Andy Carson, good morning. And we got a lot of people here today.
Fish Freak said, I don't think I'm a human father. You never know. But I suppose I'm a cat and fish daddy?
Cat daddy. Definitely one of them. I'm a puppy daddy. And a fish daddy. And a daddy daddy. Alright. Fishcapades anyway. Good morning, good morning. We're down to the bottom here. Victor C., good morning. In case I missed you. I think you were the first one. Anyway. Alright, what do we got? Disaster. Remember how we talked about the drilling the glass and I needed a better drill bit? So I got a better drill bit. And then I took the 5-gallon tank and I drilled it. And
Fishcapades said, I'm glad I stopped sleeping through these.
Me too.
John McKenzie said, Happy Father's Day, weirdos.
Happy Father's Day, weirdo. Anyway. See this? See this? I did everything right. This was like by far, like I'm like, this is perfect. This is never, I had it. I mean, as far as I was concerned, I could not have done a better job drilling this. In my opinion, this was perfect. Like I had no problems, I put no pressure. I was actually holding the drill off the glass to kind of like not put glass powder all over my fingers. And it still shattered. And quite horribly. So, I gave up. I'm not doing that anymore. That's the third tank. I'm 0 for 3, I should say. Well, technically one of them works. So, I guess I'm 1 for 3. But even that one cracked, but it cracked in a way that I could still use it. So, That glass is just too thin. Too thin. There's, I could not have done a better job as far as I've drilled a lot of tanks. A lot of tanks. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8. Not to mention 9. The 4 sumps.
Victor C. said, Jay-Son, where is your
4
coffee
sumps.
mug?
Right here, Victor. Thanks for asking.
Window Liquor
I do need a sip.
#5 said 3 strikes and you're out.
That's it, man.
Congratulations, Start Fresh Aquatics. Lando on the membership milestone. Start
right.
that of Fresh Aquatics. Lando has been an extraordinary aquarist for 14 months.
Congrats. And thanks. But yes, I've drilled like, I don't know. What did I say right here? It's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus the 4 tank sumps I had before this.
Bigfoot on the membership
So we're
milestone.
looking at like 10, 15 different tanks that
Bionic
I've drilled.
Bigfoot has been an extraordinary aquaharist for 18 months.
Congrats.
Congratulations, Bruiser CB on the membership milestone. Bruiser CB has been an extraordinary aquarist for 20 months.
Man, been around that long already. Holy cow. Congrats.
Congratulations, Fishcapades on the membership milestone.
Right on.
Fishcapades has been an extraordinary aquarist for 16 months.
Peplin Creek
Congrats.
Aquatics said, Jason, good morning.
Good morning,
Happy
Pep.
Father's Day.
Thank you. And happy Father's Day to you. I guess, I don't know. Nancy B in Tennessee, good morning. How we doing? All right, so congrats to everybody for being members and for your milestones. I appreciate that. Goes a long way. But anyway, I've drilled, I don't know, over a dozen tanks. And I've had, that's not true. I did break a couple in those. So we didn't even count those that are broken because I'm not using them. So, I don't know, 20 some tanks I've drilled in my time. Broke a few, not including these. And the one I did break, I drilled it fine. I put the bulkhead on there and I had the little elbow on it and my dumb ass grabbed it by the elbow and yanked and that just shattered the whole glass pane. So theoretically, that wasn't a drilling problem. That was the ape handling the box problem. But yeah, so I'm not a stranger to drilling tanks and I just think the glass is too thin, man. It's just too thin. So I don't know what to do. Either we got to go with that overflow method or I got to get an overflow box and hopefully that works. Or I got to put heaters in all the tanks, which might actually be the easiest solution at this freaking point. However, that's a power problem. So we might have to reevaluate some things here. Or, now here's an idea. We might have to get, we might not have to get a different rack, but we might have to get.
Window Liquor #5 said, bigger
Let me get a tape
overflow
measure.
tube.
Yeah, there's that. But then it also, yeah. All right, let me get, I have a tape measure right here. I want to see something real quick. 10-gallon fish tank is about 20 inches wide. Come with me. I'm going to set this chat down for a sec. So, there. Come over here. 20 inches wide. So if I want to do 10 gallons in here, this has to be 40 inches. And it's not. It is 35 and a half
Aquarium
inches.
Thoughts said, good morning and happy
Good morning,
Father's
Dave.
Day, everyone.
Good morning and happy Father's Day. All right, so 10. So I would need a new rack. And that's not going to work because then it would be wider. I could always go taller. Unless... that does not excite me. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 tanks. We were going to do 6. Bigger tubes. Let's take a look. I'm at a loss here, folks. I really am. And I haven't done anything since because I just really don't know what to do. So we could do this. Come on. Stuck now. Stuck on. Dump this water out. Where's the bucket? It's over here. There was still a bridge in there too, which is weird. I think it just gets stuck with air. So, what I say? I don't know what to do. We'd have to make a bigger one of these. So this is already 3/4 inch. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's 3/4 inch. Yes. 3/4 inch, and this is 1/2 inch C PVC. Probably have to go up to like 1 inch. And then 1/2 inch? Well, it's still 1/2 inch. Not gaining any internal diameter here, are we? This is... Yeah. It's 1/2 inch. I don't know. This does work. It just slows down like over a week. By the end of the week, it's no longer starting to back up. So I think what happens is air gets in this. Now, I did used to run, because I had like a 2-inch pipe and then like a 3/4 inch inside of it. And that would work. That worked. I don't know. This is a whole lot for a 5-gallon tank. At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know. Set this over here for now. It doesn't need to be in there. So we're currently only on one heater, and it's on the bottom tank. And I just knocked the lid in there. But we're gonna, since we're here, we might as well go through the mops. We fix this lid. Probably need to add some water in there. That is the frittatas. What am I doing? We gotta do mops.
Bruiser CB said, "Do you have room for more holes to let out more water?"
Didn't we do that? Like, I don't think it's the hole problem. I think it's the overflow problem. What is going on here? Why am I stuck? I mean, I could drill some more holes, but I don't think it's gonna matter. I mean, yes, I could drill theoretically 4 more holes or whatever. In each of the opposites. I mean, we could try it. I guess we could try it. We could try it. So let me, let's do the mops first and then we'll mess with that. How about that? So let me get to my
Dave's
flashlight.
Aquarium Thoughts said, "I spy an inkbird."
Oh yeah. Yeah, I put it on this because I was gonna do the whole system here. But it's, right now all I got is this guy. There's a bunch of little Gertrude or fricattas in there. I see at least 3. It's cool. Needs to be filled up because I see 4. Little fry. More than 4? 5. I see 5. That's good. Fricattas are always good. But yeah, the water level's lower than this, so I don't think it's actually even doing anything.
Peplin Creek Aquatics said, "I still vote for a 33 longs divided. Easier to drill."
Yeah, this is true. And I would only have to, if I did it right, and I divided it, with the divisions I could put, like, holes in it so that I could just fill it in one side, and it would flow through the whole system, and then out. But
Dave's Aquarium
then I
Thoughts
need a
said,
sump.
"Are you talking about a PVC overflow?"
Yeah, this. I built this thing. It works. But after like a week of running, it starts to slow down, and then the tank starts to back up because it's not draining as fast as it's filling. And granted, it takes like a while. So far, what is it, 3 weeks I've done it? Every single week, by the end of the week, it's been slowing down. So, all right, we're in the frittata tank. Let's take the purple mops. Take them out. My fingers. Please don't bite them.
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said, I never had an issue with the design I used.
And what design have
Window
you used?
Licker #5 said, could you use a small pump in the middle tank?
What do you mean? Has to pump it out down to the blow tank? Then you run the risk, if you're not filling fast enough, then you're going to pump the tank dry. And that's like a... That to me seems a little more sketchy. There's definitely some eggs here. Like I said, these I forgot. So this is... Now we got to go back to this purple. We got to go back to red. Do we have a red in here? It's right here. Here's the red.
Dave's
Trying to get everything
Aquarium
off this
Thought
mop.
said I showed it off on one of my older videos on my channel.
Okay, I'll check it out. I mean, same idea, different concept. What do we got? What are we talking here? An egg? That's a snail egg, if anything. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious. I'm down for anything that works, man. Oh, there's moss in here.
Master Aquatics, just call me
Oh, no,
Eduardo,
he's
said
here.
just as long as you continue to pump, it is all good. Good day, folks.
Hello, Eduardo. Good day. Thank you for joining us. Not the same without you. Oh, it's moss. I got all this moss in here. Preserve it. How I did it, but I ended up with a lot of moss. Dropping it on the floor.
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said video is titled DIY Auto Water Change System and Irrigation System. I'll email you link later.
Yeah, do it. Well, you can email it to me now and put it on the stream, or at least a link to it, so others can watch it as well. Or, well, I don't think you're a mod, so I don't think you can post links. But yeah, all right, that's good enough. I'm gonna. Oh man, my back is still not 100% here, but we're gonna live with it. Yeah, I mean, I've had other flows. Like, you gotta remember, these are 5-gallon tanks, man, so I don't have a whole lot of space in these. So anything that's got to be made has got to be made like kind of compact. That way. All right, red mop goes back in with the frittatas. Bada bing, bada boom. Next, these are the celebs. Whoa. 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 Yum. These guys, there are a lot of guys in here. Bunch of little babies. They seem to be doing pretty good, even in their unheated condition. Let's take this red mop out. Let's try not to get anything stuck in it. I'm gonna rinse it. We're gonna
Master
swap it.
Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo, said Jason. Why so early today? I got awoken by the dinging of you hard turned on viewing. Woke me up quick and hard. Almost fell off the couch.
Well, I mean, it's the same time every week, so last time I checked, no earlier than it used to be. Perhaps it's you that are late. All right, let me rinse this. Just getting some moss out of that mop. We also have to do the water testing on that 75. I did I did a little this is for the celebs. This in there. Let me take the purple mop out. I did put the mops. I don't know if I discussed this last week. I put the mops in the outdoor tub. So I had some celeb. I took my F2s and put them in the tub, and there's some eggs there. These guys breed pretty good too, honestly. There's usually a lot of eggs. Eggs there. Oops, now it's on my finger. There you go. Back in the mop. That's good. Put that there. Put that there. Put this here. Put this here. There we go. Good enough. All right. What do we got here? These are the Pascal rainbows, which I have gotten a few eggs, I think, but I haven't seen any fry.
Master Aquatics.
Babies.
Just call me Eduardo said if they breed lots, that means they most likely Puerto Rican fish.
Well, I don't think they are. Malaysian. Or, Australian. Not entirely sure. Well, I know a lot of come from Malaysia, right? That's where the Gertrudes, Gatas, all those good things. I do not have a red mop in here. So let me take the red mop out of here. Oh, that's right. Because I swapped the purple mop. No. I don't know why there's no red mop or purple mop in there. Why do I have a red mop in here? Because I didn't have enough purple mops. That's why. That's right. But I did. Oh, that's another thing I did this week is I made some purple mops. I'm just going to leave that in there for another week so that we're on. Maybe I should check to see if there's eggs in there. Let's see if there's any eggs first. These are the Pascal rainbows. These are relatively new to me. Snail, not an egg. Oh, there is an egg. Huh. So if I put a red mop in here, means we're kind of out of date. But I think I have extra red mops.
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said I sent you the link with a timestamp to bring
Cool.
you to the overflow
Cool.
I used.
Cool. Oh yeah, I got to talk about this too. Hang on a second, folks. Let me get the purple mop. No, we want another red mop. We're not in a purple now, we're in a red. We have red? No, of course not. Why would I have extra red here? Here's a red. We will put this, so there'll just be an extra red mop floating around for a week. Or whatever, a couple weeks. Alright, I will check that email in a sec here. Yeah, I did put the mop that I had in my F2s of the Celebes. I'm calling them F2s. I took that mop, put it in the summer tub. So hopefully we get something out of that. I also took some, I had a mop in with my Madaka rice fish. And put that in the tub outside. But this is the new tank, by the way, right here. This has replaced the 5-gallon I broke with the brand new 5-gallon. But anyway, let's get back to the problem. With that overflow system, I still have to drill one of these tanks, and that just, unless I do 2 overflows. What in the hell is that? That looks unnatural. Like some sort of worm. It fell in there and died? I don't know, it's not moving, so I guess that's a good thing. Not that we need that! Caterpillar looking thing fell in there. Alright, these are the Gertrudes. Let's take their mop, see what's up. Wow, that guy looks jacked up. What happened to him? He's got a tumor.
Master Aquatics, just call me Eduardo, said Madaka. Sounds like a varied curse word. Sexy. That is Gret Jeff. Not too common for us long-term fish keepers.
Madaka. There's definitely eggs in here. I can see them. Yeah, this dark blue mop, or dark green mop. I don't know. Keep an eye on that. Dark green seems to, at least I can see the eggs really well in it. Oh, I didn't even look to see if there were any babies. Now I gotta find my flashlight that I apparently set down somewhere and now is lost to time. Oh, why do I always do this to myself? I don't even know. How do I do this to myself?
P&W Aqua said good morning, folks. Jason and weird dead worms.
Good morning. Weird dead. Oh, here it is. Right in front of my face, man. If I had teeth, it would bit me. Alright, let's see if we got any eggs in this. Or any fry. Ooh, there is. There's a little dude. Yay. I don't know if you can see him, but he's right there. At least one.
Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo said just call your light flasher and you'll find it left to your face.
Yeah. It's right there. Alright, so we have a Gertrude fry again. That is good sign. Good sign. Good sign. Alright, last but not least, we have some for
Dave's
empanadas.
aquarium thoughts said you need a macro shot on those fry.
Yeah, we do. But right now I'm just trying to get through this real quick just to swap the mops and then we can move to other things. See if we have any loomies. Not seeing any. Whoa. Not seeing any loomies. I don't know. Honestly, I think at this point, instead of building PVC overflows and all this stuff, I think I might just have to think about putting in heaters in the tanks and just... At that point, this is going to be the easiest solution. I was trying to keep the heaters to a minimum because of power and plugs. But at the end of the day, I think it might solve more problems. I just took it, put a heater in there. Some of this algae sitting right here. See if there's any eggs in the loomies. I've been trying to keep up on the what do you call it? The baby brine shrimp hatching. I have a batch that's pretty much, it'll be ready tonight to feed. All right, do we have any
310 Aquatics said good morning. Happy Father's Day to all the dads.
Happy Father's Day. And thanks for joining us. All right, where are we at? I don't see any eggs. This is a dark green mop 2 as well. And there is an egg, but it looks fungused. Oh well. And we didn't see any fry. Take the red mop out. All back. Whoa. Whoa. Here, we'll try to get a better shot of those fry in a sec here. Let me rinse this. At least the Gertrude.
Scotty the Fish Freak said buy drilled tanks.
Buy drilled
I see them
tanks.
online all the time for cheap, especially in Leahy area.
Do you see any 5 gallons that are drilled? Because that seems to be my bane. I don't have a problem drilling any other tank, man. Honestly. But I'm 0 for 3 on the 5s. And they're not cheap. 10 gallons are cheaper than 5 gallons. If that makes any sense. Make that make sense. But it doesn't. See the baby there?
Dave's aquarium thoughts said, make your own 5-gallon tank with thicker glass.
There you go. That's an idea too. Now we're going in a whole lot of freaking... I think it would not be cheaper to make my own 5 gallons. We were trying to make this, here's the word, easy. No, it is not. Oh, and I put the stupid thing down. Oh, here it is. Can we see that baby? Where you at? I see your little fry head over there. Right there. Oop. Whoops, I scared him. See him up there? The little dude. He's a little guy. We could try and zoom in on him. Try. Alright, so the only other mops I have are ones that I'm going to put into the outdoor tub. So I will check them in a sec, but I want to still down one camera because I still haven't
Dave's
gotten that.
aquarium thought said, if you want to get really advanced and techie, get a float valve that turns on a pump when the water gets too high that pumps out the water.
Yeah, but also I'm trying to.
Scotty the fish freak said, yes, I have seen 5S drilled. Could move up to 10S instead?
Yeah, I think. Well, I would have to get a different rack because it wouldn't be wide enough to do both. Too wide, I should say. Let's see that dude here. Focus. There he is. You can see the little dude all the way up top there. Right next to he went behind that snail. There he is. I don't think I can zoom much further in, and yeah, because then I lose him off the screen. Have to tilt up. Hang on. We can do this. Might not have to tilt up. I just have to scroll up.
Vinoksky said, happy Father's Day, guys.
Happy Father's Day. Good morning. All right, did we lose him? No, he's still there. I see him. Thought I saw him. Did lose him. Nope, he's still there. You guys see him? He's to the right of the blue mop, or the blue mop, the green mop. Just that little speck of life. He's got a big belly on him too. That's a good sign. I did feed him this morning. That's probably all the stuff you've seen floating around in there. The fry powder. I use what do you call that? Golden pearls. I use a little
John Mackenzie said,
powder.
could you replace the broken side with plexiglass?
If I was going to replace the broken side, I would just use glass, because I don't know how plexiglass and glass would bond together. Makes sense.
Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, said, I could see him when you first found it from across the room.
Nice. You got the eye, man. All right, let's move on. Got the eye. All right, let's back this up. Turn this off. Ooh. All right. Now this week, I had a regular old mop that I was using for the Medacas. And there's a lot of algae in here. Yeah, maybe I should bring you over here. We can look at this together. Yes, good idea. Good idea. Let me get this.
Windowlicker #5 said, I found the vid and posted it for Dave Jason.
Oh, cool. Yeah, oh yeah. Derp. I am like this ADHD manifest, people. All right. What are we looking at? Looking at that tank. And in this tank...
Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, said, I can't see them in my own tanks, LOL.
Well, there's a lot of algae here, so we're going to grab this first. A lot of green hair algae. Holy smokes, man. Look at this. Looks like it's picking up the rocks. This tank has like this carpet of like green hair algae. It's kind of wild. It's real thick and dense.
Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo, said Jason. Jeff has the eye.
Eduardo.
For what exactly?
We're
He has
seeing
been
the
known
fry.
to detect alien fish across the universe.
There you go.
He discovered a pregnant guppy in Uranus just last month at...
See, he does have the eye. Look at this, man. This is the insanity. Be here for an hour. Green hair algae. Anyway, so I found a pool floaty at the grocery store and some of these green scrubbies. Well, those are the blue scrubby. Same idea, but supposedly these are better at getting the eggs off. I don't know. I only have the eggs. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I take this scrubby and just stick it in the tub, the outdoor tub, see what happens. And I can...
That's lovely, that is.
I just sliced the pool floaty up in little sections, and I cut one of these up, like I rolled it up and then cut the ends. But theoretically, I could just take that section out and just reuse this part. But we'll see. Let me get this done first. Might have to do a little bit of water change after this too. There is a ton of algae right here. Sponge is covered in a combo of black beard and green hair. Look at that. Finger licking good. I don't know. It's very satisfying though to pull this stuff off. I don't know why. It's like I don't know how to describe it. I mean, I guess this is the nutrient sink. Pulling out all this algae. This tank can definitely use more plants. Maybe that's what... Oh, that's a good idea. Maybe we should put those plants that are sitting in the other tank in here. The ones that were quote-unquote in quarantine. Probably don't need to be in that quarantine anymore. All right. Enough. We'll be doing this for 2 days. It's just so hard to stop. It's sick addicting. So addicting. But if we were, yeah, you know, we could try it. What do we got to lose except some plants? So, let me toss this. One serious wad of algae, holy cow. Alright. Next, I'm gonna sneeze. But before I sneeze, I'm gonna put this
Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo, said Jason.
Dog did not
Be
like that.
honest. When was the last time you fertilized any tank with plants with anything except fish-used food?
Well, I have been doing Zoe. Relax. It was just a sneeze. You're okay, puppy. I have been doing like potassium sulfate. Even the intake's clogged. I fertilized with iron. I was doing and potassium.
Andy Carson said Zoe.
Zoe. Zoler. She goes for a bath tomorrow. Finally, she's a dirty puppy. She gets groomed.
Window Licker
Gets a haircut.
5 said, would good old gravity do the trick on a siphon? Maybe just airline. If not enough, maybe bigger hose.
What are we talking about here? Are we still talking about the overflow? I mean, I could just do a siphon, I guess, and hope it doesn't break. But the problem with the siphon is, well, I guess it will break itself if it gets low. I have to keep it at the right height. Just trying to clean this up. Rinse off the sponge real quick. And hopefully we can put this all back. Yeah, anyway. I don't remember what I was talking about. I got sidetracked by a dog trying to maul me.
Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo, said Window Hash 5. Many holes have been used to siphon wet stuff since the Stone Age.
Oh, yes. That's a good. Lots of algae. No problems. Let's get out of here. Get this out of there. We started going down this rabbit hole last week on silicates. And discovered that my tap water is high in silicates, as is my tanks, or at least the one tank we tested. I'll just blow, there we go. So, what did I do this week? I made did a water change on my brackish tank. I added more salt and brackish water to the systems, to whatever the respective system, or whatever the storage tanks I'm trying to get at. All right, that's flowing. It wants to chooch. There we go. Keep sitting there. Now we can put it. Get the air out of the line. All right, filter has been serviced. Do a water
That's
change.
lovely, that is.
Yeah, it is. Oh, what the mother? Hang on a second. I gotta blow my nose. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that.
Master Aquatics. Just call me Eduardo, said, does anyone know where the word brackish ever evolved from? Brack and itch.
Somehow I don't think that's right, but I'm not gonna stop you. Okay, that is flowing. Let's hook up this and do a quick water change. Start on the 125 too, I think. And then we can test. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about. Silica. I got a test kit. I actually got more test kits. They're test, what do you call them? reagents. That's the word I'm looking for. I got more test reagents for that kit because it only came with 6. And I already used like 4 of them last week. So I was gonna need more. I just go in here and just keep pulling this algae while I'm doing this water change? I mean, I feel like I should. Yeah, so the test kit revealed that we were very high in silicates in my tap and in my tanks. And we did reveal that the RO system does remove them. We tested the RO water too and had 0. So I guess that's a bonus. Now, my thought, what we did last week is we just did the water change normal. And I threw in some of that Purigen stuff. Like, I don't know if that's going to remove any of that, but I guess we'll find out a little bit today, because we'll test for it. Kind of curious to see if Purigen did remove. I know there's different stuff, like a lot of stuff that, what is it, Phosguard, I think by Seachem. That supposedly removes phosphorus and silica. So, I have to look at something like that. Or, ideally, to cure the entire problem, I should probably start doing like how do I say this? Use the RO and remineralize. Dude, you're like us. Come on, man. We're a team. Work together. Doing this by myself, man. Jesus. I think I could do this all by myself. Look at you. Not that good. But yes. So I could do the RO and then remineralize, which I think might be an option. But then I gotta then we gotta change. Then we gotta change a whole lot of things around here. Or, I was looking at maybe doing a little research. Those deionizing resins, like the stuff you use in the RODI system, there's an actual resin that one of those stages it goes through. That might do it. Remove the silicates. All right, from my understanding, silica is like one of the most abundant elements on this planet. Like it's almost in everything. Like every rock has silica in it. There's a ton of stuff. So that's why it's in a lot of water supplies, because it's a naturally occurring thing that, you know, water will pass through. So, plus, municipal water supplies will add silica to their supply because it causes less corrosion. It drives the pH higher.
Said, "Hiya, beautiful people. Let's
Good
get
morning, Whip.
tanked."
Drives the
Jason,
pH higher.
to be feared and avoided at all costs.
Yeah, you're right. But they add it to the municipal supplies because I guess it helps keep leaching from lead and galvanized pipes. And a lot of older municipalities used that stuff back in the day. So they still have a lot of those pipes in the ground going to houses. So it helps that, and I think that's one of the reasons probably why my silicates are high in my tap, because I am in one of those old towns that does have galvanized lead pipes. Or I think it's the homes that have it so much.
Windowlicker #5 said, "How in the F would you filter out the silica if it's your whole subrator?"
If it's my whole what? Substrate? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, that's the other issue. Silica, apparently the pull filter sand's like pretty high in silicates too. But eventually what happens is those silicates, like it'll just break down as much as it can break down, right? So yeah, it will take time.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said bare bottom tanks.
Bare bottom tanks, Dave. There you go. That's an idea. Or, you know, eventually the silicates will get burned out, I guess, in the substrate. it can only hold so much, and only so much can dissolve. I guess there's two types of silicate. There's the stuff that dissolves, which is what you see in the tanks, and then there's stuff that doesn't dissolve, which is called colloidal silica. I gotta blow my nose again. Hang on. So there's that. All right. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's let me get this real quick. I'll run upstairs and grab
Dave's aquarium thoughts said that Inkbird is trying to hypnotize us all. Wake up, people!
Is it doing that flashing thing? Because the refresh rate is the same as the, or not the same as the camera. So you get a flashing, blinking light. Let me see. Let me see what you guys see. Oh yeah, it is. Look at that. That looks crazy on the screen. It's not doing that here. All right. You get this little tray. Where are the scissors? Didn't I just see the scissors a minute ago? Where did I see the scissors? I'm gonna need the scissors. What are you doing, little Lily? Little Lily found a twist tie. This is your
P&W
favorite thing
Aqua
in the
said 2
entire
sets
world.
by the Inkbird.
You better run, Lily. I'm going to show you off to everybody. She's obsessed with twist ties. She loves playing with them. She steals them. Leave me alone, I'm playing over here. She'll be doing that for hours. Alright, let me go back trying to find these scissors. I saw them this morning. Where the heck are they? What do I do with them? Are they over here? Where's the tape measure? Never find again unless I move it. Might be in here. What the heck did I do with those scissors? I definitely had them. Maybe maybe I took them upstairs. Hang on. I'm gonna take a
Whip's World said,
quick
hey,
run.
I'm awake. I'm out of bed. What more do you want? Good morning, Andy, Ryan, and Dave. Dave's aquarium thoughts said,
Good
I
morning,
guess
Whip.
it's different scissors than those two on the magnet P&W.
What? Oh yeah, you know those would work too, wouldn't they? They would work. That would work. Good call, man. Those are aquarium, what do you call them? But I'm already up here grabbing these scissors, so I'll be right back. All this time, I totally forgot about those aquascaping scissors. Anyway, here's the green scrubby. I'm going to rinse this real quick, just in case anything weird on it.
Dave's aquarium
Guess it's
thoughts
a
said
blue
that
scrubby.
was P&W's catch. But I
Oh.
guess you do have some missing scissors somewhere.
P&W, sorry, man. Thank you for seeing that. I thought it was Dave. Anyway, let me take this out, and I'm going to put that in this tray, and that's going to go in the tub. I don't know if there's any eggs in there. I don't see any. But alas, I'll roll it up like a little Tootsie Roll or something. Stick it in there. I'm gonna take the scissors. I'm just gonna cut. Not like, you know, evenly spaced, I guess.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said you're not playing enough missive and gay for those fish.
Yes, I'm not. Apparently, I'm not feeding them enough. Something's wrong. Maybe they like Barry White.
Window Licker #5 said I have BBA in the 75.
There you
planted.
go.
I used black sand to cap the aquarium soil, then black aquarium rock. I should have just used the rock.
Yeah, maybe. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda things around in this. Oh no. There is something wrong with that Hoplocat. He is not looking good. Breathing real hard. Wow, his stomach looks like it's sunken. What's going on with that? I know you weren't starving, dude. Nobody in this
Dave's
tank is
aquarium
starving.
thoughts said, you should set up 2 breeding tanks. One play Marvin Gaye for, and the other Barry White, and see which one produces more fry.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to blow my nose. Alright. Yeah, the Hoplocat ain't doing so hot, is he? Let me, I'm gonna do a water change just because I'm sure that his dying is probably not doing wonders for the tank. I mean, I got this fish from Fishroom. I've had this tank, or this fish now for what? Going on probably 4 years now? Yeah, I think right around 4 years.
Whip's World said why? Why so excited? AI Rachel is often overstimulated for no apparent reason, and it freaks me out when she picks my comment to do it with haha higher Swiffle, Victor, Licker, and our leader Jason.
Look, man, you get her excited. What can I say? Alright, we're just going to let this run for a minute. Oh. Come on, fish, hang in there. That's very depressing. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can do. I know Fishy Mountain had him for a while, so I don't know how old that fish is. What else are we doing here? Oh, we're going over here. And we're going to look at this mop.
Said I'm so excited and I just can't hide it.
Let's see if we got any eggs in this mop. Yep. This is the one that's going in the tub. At least one. One egg, that's it? Come on now. Oh, there's another one. 2 eggs, 3 eggs. I see 3, 4. Alright, we're getting a little better. Let me put this here. Here.
3G said I had a Hoplocat take out a tank of discus. I came back from fishing camp to carnage.
Oh, why? Because it died? And then fouled up the tank? Is that what you're saying? And we definitely need to do some water change in here. Oh. Yes, I sneezed. Get over it. Yes, you can't. Alright. What color is that mop I just took out of there? What do I do with it? It's over here. That was a purple mop. Yeah, so I gotta put a red mop back in there.
Said, do you have a quarantine hospital tank? If yes, I'd pull it now. No need to wait for the inevitable.
True. I do have, well, I have a 10 gallon. Could probably stick them in.
Fisherman64 said I had him since he was about ½ inch long.
Oh wow, how long ago was
Window
that?
Licker #5 said, do you have a spare tank to isolate it?
I do. I do. I guess I should get set up for that, huh? I'll probably do a water change on that tank too. Let me finish the water change on this, and then I'll do the water change on that, and then I'll move them. Meantime.
3G said it was 7 or 8 inches and got very protective of his hiding spot.
Oh, I see. So he just became mean. Yeah, I don't know what happened to him, man. He used to be fine. I'm just curious how long, I mean, if you had him for a while, Fishimon, like, how long was that? Here we go. Probably clean this glass a little bit, too. I'm very curious to see if anything has changed the silicate issue. So, I guess, first thing first, let's start off with testing some water. I'm going to let that other water change run for a while. Oh, we use 3 test vials. Take the water out.
That's lovely, that is.
Now this is where the BB-8 lives. Thrives. Poppy, what are you doing? I know I sneezed, I got you all worked out. Worked up. Just trying to get this down to the right levels. There we go. Yeah. So we'll see. We will see if that Purigen
Fisherman64
did
said
anything.
properly about 7 years ago,
Okay.
maybe more.
Anybody got a lifespan of Hoplocats? Is it just like it's the time, the end? Or is it something? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I did. Haven't done anything. See, now he's back upright. It's like he wants to die and then he stops dying. Then he wants to die and he stops dying. I don't know what he's doing. He's not eating? Like, what's happening here? Feeding Ebo in there, so I don't see why not. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's sad though, huh? I will do the TDSs first. Before I forget. TDS. $4.27. That's up. Well, last week we did put some fertilizer in there, some phosphates or
Window Licker #5 said
potassium.
my new cat
I was
is
saying I was adding
such a
phosphates.
clown. I gave her a little cheesy, and now she goes nuts for Cheetos.
Nice.
Silly kitty.
Silly kitty. I did say I added potassium or phosphorus, but I meant to say I add potassium. So when I fertilize, all I fertilize is with potassium and iron. Not phosphates, because we have a ton of them already. All right, moving on. Let us do the nitrates, because I think that one takes the longest. Get the lids. Yo. This will be the calibration. I think about where I can
Whip's
put
World
that
said, what
Hoplocat.
species or cat is it, Jason?
It's
I
a
can do a quick
Hoplocat.
good search to see if it's just aging out or not.
Hoplocat. So Fishimon had him for 7 years, and then I've had him for, I mean, it's been 3 years at least. So he's 10 years old, right? Is that what I was reading? Oh no, 7 years ago, maybe more since you got him. Okay, so maybe a total of 7 years. He's either 7 to 10. So Alright. The scissors, now that they're down here, I can use them. Nitrates. Do nitrates first. Just letting gravity do the water change on the 75 or the 125. What tank can I put him in?
Fisherman64 said, I actually got him from Jeff Rapps when he used to sell cichlids. He actually lived in Phillipsburg, but he has
Wow.
since sold his business.
Okay. Dave's a cool applecat. Just curious what's happening.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said from Google, Hoplo catfish can live for 5 to 8 years in captivity, and sometimes even longer, exceeding 10 years with good care.
Well, maybe it's just that time.
Whip's World said, according to Google AI, typically live for 5 to 10 years in a well-maintained aquarium.
We all know that wasn't fishing month. I kid. Yeah, maybe. Maybe it's that time. Does seem like an old dude. And nobody else seems to be having any issues in there, so. Alright.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said, I'm just faster than the sound of the whip. 3G said, the one that killed the discus didn't live that long.
Is that because he killed the discus and you intervened, or he just met his untimely demise? And hopefully not at the hands of you. Alright, that's stirred. Shake this up a little more. Some air bubbles out of that.
Fisherman64 said his like me, an old guy.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's going. Phosphates. Start this test. Add the calibration. You get the test kit agents. I just feel bad. Nothing I can do. I mean, I can put them in quarantine, but I'm just worried that would stress them even more. But I mean, I guess it would stress the other fish less. And God forbid he dies like in the middle of the night. He'll just be filling up the tank for half a night. Yeah, probably better just to move them. I mean, I got a 10 gallon I can put them in. Dude, what just happened there? Oh, the pump's kicked on. Derp. Hang on, let me shut these back up.
Fisherman64 said, oh yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Happy Father's Day! Thank you, sir. I hear myself talking. Alright. This one chooch here for a minute. Oops. 3 minutes. Okay. Now we do the silicates. This one's a little more difficult.
Said just don't go for a walk with Old Yellow behind the barn fishing and you'll be fine.
Okay, if I remember correctly, we got to do 6 drops, wait 4 minutes, test kit A, or whatever, B, This is C. This is the last one. B and A are what you need to calibrate. So let's get B ready. And we gotta do 6 drops. Remember, 6 drops. Don't forget that. Important number. Whoa. Okay. So open up this.
Dave's aquarium thought said 6 drops.
God damn it. This dropper is so freaking sensitive, man. You squeeze it like an inch too hard, and you got 17 drops. I gotta get more. I'm gonna do this over. Because I didn't see how many went in there. It was like squirt. Annoying.
Here comes the
Very
rain
annoying.
again, falling on my head like a memory. Falling on
SWFL
my head
Aquatics said
like
6
a
drops
new
do the hokey pokey and turn
emotion.
all
That's
about.
right. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Oh, the kid just sent me a happy Father's Day. My son is going on a cruise today, so he's not around. Him and his girlfriend. Week-long cruise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. That was 6. Now we got to swirl and wait 4 minutes. Alexa timer, 4 minutes.
P&W Aqua said we got a squirrel.
Squirrel! All right. In the meantime, in that 4 minutes, the phosphate and the nitrate test is going to finish. And after that 4 minutes, we need to put the...
Fisherman64 said that's what I told her. Squeeze it to hard and oops.
Then you get too many drops. Ah! 4 minutes.
Lovely, that is.
Test kit B. All right, the phosphates are reading, and the phosphates are 0.32, which is about where they were. .32. Slightly up. Last week they were 0.3. That's funny. Apparently I set a 4-minute timer on everybody's Alexis. Everybody that can hear me. Okay.
Whip's World said
that
that's
there.
why I don't like the liquid test kits. I
Yeah,
know they're
'cause it
supposed
drops.
to be more accurate, but all it takes is an extra drop box throws the whole best off.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Give me a test strip and I'm happy.
Apparently I set it on more than one device in my house too. It's kind of funny. That just turned back on? No. Is that a puppy?
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said we are supposed to
Lily.
test our water.
On occasion. Where did that Hoplocat go?
Window Licker #5 said how's your back?
Eh.
What did you do to make it better?
I just laid around a whole bunch. Tried not to stress it. And it's not perfect either. Still on, I don't know, man. It's going on over 2 weeks now. So we got 4 seconds left on the nitrates. It will read right about now 18.6. Write that down. 18.6. 18.6. And the only other thing we need is the silicates. But we gotta wait. That timer will go off any second. We will add this. We'll give it another minute.
See our pish, Cheryl Smith, said
Hey.
morning Jason and chat.
Good morning. Welcome to the stream. Just waiting for this timer. All right, 18.6. Kind of right around where it was last time. A little higher. But 18.6 seems kind of low to me. So I'm okay with it. Turn on the silica. There we go. Alexa, stop!
Whip's World said, dude, you're on the wrong side of 50. Your back will never be perfect ever again. Ask me how I know.
Yeah. Wrong side of 50. That one I can just, like, you know, start getting crazy with everything because I only got a little bit left. All right. We gotta wait a minute. I muted myself so nobody else would have to hear that.
Window licker #5 said, how old is your bed mattress? The last time my back went out, we bought a new one.
It's not a bad idea,
That
man.
night was the best sleep I've ever had.
Actually, we've been talking
Daniel
about getting a
Velez
mattress,
said, good
but we're
morning,
waiting till we
everyone.
revamp the
Happy
bedroom.
Father's Day.
Good morning, Daniel. Thanks for joining us. And happy Father's Day. Yeah. We're waiting until the master bedroom gets revamped. And then we'll get a new bed. And those Gertrudes are going at it. That is really cool. I love watching them spar. Alright.
3G said, #half dead.
Now we need this. So after this minute, we calibrate. Then we add. Alright, we're going to calibrate. Then we have to add this stuff in. And then wait 3 minutes. Everyone's to calibrate. There we go. It took a while.
Dave's aquarium thought said, I spy with my little eye. Pandagara!
Mm-hmm.
John Mackenzie said, flip the mattress.
Yeah, this is one of those mattresses you don't flip.
Alician AS said, Tempur-Pedic FTD.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about, man. We're going to get one of those like adjustable beds because we're that old. All right, shake, 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 and then we got 3 minutes. Solution's already turning blue, so it doesn't seem to be good. Probably going to be off the charts again. Which means that
Whip's
resin did
World
nothing.
said, hiya Cheryl Smith and Daniel Velez. Jeff, that's hilarious in a not so funny way. Also, hiya Jeff.
All right, 3 minutes. At any second now, this is going to start.
Dave's aquarium thought said, I sleep on my stomach. I think an adjustable bed would be highly uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I could see that being a little not fun. Alright, I don't know where that Hoplo cat went, because I don't see him anymore. And it's kind of disturbing, considering this is not that big of a tank. Well, it is a big tank, but there's not a lot of hiding spaces. So, oh, there he is. He's back there. I think that's him. I think that's his tail. Hard to tell. Yeah, he's under there with the... Alright, he's hidden behind the loach. Just trying to hide. I mean, where else can I can put him in this 10-gallon over here? Yes, I will. I'll just wait for this to finish. I'll finish this water change. I'll do the water change on the 10 gallon, and then I'll throw them in there. And then we'll do the water change on this 75. Okay. Got a little more than a minute here.
Window liquor #5 said green light Lisa on shopping. It's go time, girlfriend. OLL.
Yeah. Like I said, we gotta do a lot of work in the bedroom. We're gonna gut the bedroom a bit. We're gonna do the flooring. We're gonna do the ceilings. Obviously painting. And then get a new mattress when that time comes. Yeah, our mattress is definitely due for a change. Been a while. Yeah, and it's the one you can't flip because it's got like a... They're not meant to be flipped, whatever. You got like a mattress topper thing on one side. Yeah, I can't sleep on my stomach, man. Well, first of all, I sleep the sleep of the damned. Like I do nothing but toss and turn all night long, all night, every night, endlessly. I've gotten so bad that I have to put like
3G said
pillowcases with zippers on, or I'll just pull them off. I've shredded sheets in my sleep because I can't stop turning. It's horrible. Horrible. All right, it is above 2.0. So it's off the charts again. So the resins. Yeah, all right, I was tempted with getting the high range kit because that goes to like 250 or something like that, just to see where the silicates are at. But at the end of the day, I feel like spending $70 just for a test kit to know that I'm above where I need to be, right? This can tell me I'm already way above where I need to be. So, yeah, the other thing I did is I took a gallon of RO water.
Said I know the feeling. I tossed too. Horrible.
I know. So I took a gallon of RO water and I mixed it in a bucket with a gallon of tap water, and I took a test, and it was still off the charts. So mixing it 1-to-1 is not good. I thought then, well, okay, if I wanted to see if it would go down below, so I'd have to take essentially 1 gallon of tap water to 2 gallons of RO water, or half a gallon to 1, whatever, however you want to look at it, same ratio, just to see. And at that point, if I'm going to spend all the time cutting tap water with RO water, I might as well just go with RO water and remineralize it, right? That's kind of where I'm at. The silicates. Silica. So, question is, if I was going to do this remineralization thing, what would you remineralize with? Does anybody remineralize their water? I know a lot of people with shrimp do that. A lot of times they'll just RO and then remineralize for Neos or Caridinias, whatever. One or the other. Or both. Depending what you're keeping. But does anybody here remineralize after they've whoops. Want that.
Alishan AS said the tossing and turning is probably wrecking your back.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not wrong.
Whips World said, Jason, that's me too. My bed looks like I thought of an exorcism every morning. The wife has to keep extra sheets by her side, so when I inevitably strip the bed, she still has something.
Oh, we went to we have our own comforters now. That was like
Dave's
the first
aquarium
thing.
thought said I know plants crave brawn dough.
Yeah. Got the electrolytes. Yeah, like we switched to do yourself get 2 comforters, man. That way you're not fighting over anything. We got extra. Makes life nice. Especially I'm tossing and turning all the time. Alright. This tank is pretty much Good on the water change. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do a water change on this tank.
"3G said I refused to chase water. I check my water with my fangers."
Your fingers. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not trying to chase water. I'm trying to eliminate problems in the water. If that makes any sense. I don't feel like that's chasing water because I'm not chasing a certain parameter. I'm just trying to. I don't know how to say that.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said, "Do you taste your water, 3G?"
Dude, who is that? It was Big Tank Hank, man. I was on a stream with him once. He's telling me that that's how he does it. He knows when to do a
Window
water
Licker
change. He
Hash
dips his
5
finger in there and tastes
said
it.
if
When
you
he
did
tastes a
treat
certain
the
way,
water,
ugh.
how many trash cans would you need to run the whole fish room?
Well, see, that's the thing. I couldn't do the whole. Yeah, man. I would.
Whip's World said, "If we don't do something soon, she might have me using separate sheets and blankets on a separate bed."
There you go.
Haha.
Definitely separate blankets, man. Telling you. That solved so many problems in my life. Because then, you know, somebody turns over and pulls you down, and the sheets are coming off of you, and you're like waking up, freezing, like, what the? And you're pulling back. And then it just eliminated all of it. We got 2 single
Daniel Vela
comforters.
said, "I have used Equilibrium since the 80 years.
The 80s.
I have only used RODI water for my tanks since then.
Really?
But I only had 2 saltwater tanks and 2 freshwater tanks."
Okay. Okay.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said, "When you get good enough, you can smell it. Or bad enough, you can smell it."
No, I understand that there is definitely probably a change that occurs. All right, I'm going to fill this tank back up. As soon as I get all these kinks out of the hose, there we go. All right, 75, relax. Gonna be okay. Or, I'm sorry, 125.
Daniel Vela said, "Yes, I am old. Been in the hobby a long time."
Hey, I've been in the hobby a long time too, man. I understand. And it's, yeah, I think I was in the hobby in the 80s. That's, yeah.
P&W Aqua said, "Tasting aquarium water seems like a great way to get some weird parasite."
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, man. I'm not doing
3G
that.
said, "If it smells like cologne, leave it alone. If it smells like fish eat, all you wish."
Pleading the fifth. All right. I'm going to fill up 125. I'm going to fill up this 10-gallon. I'm going to have to deal with that Hoplo cat. Seems to have gone inside the little cave and is like hiding there now, so I don't know if he's just going in there to die. Yeah, so that Purigen didn't do well. I don't know what the Purigen did, because the silicates could be 100, and the Purigen could have brought it down to 98 for all I know. So clearly there needs to be more done. So equilibrium, huh? And that might actually, see, if I could do something like that, then it opens up the world to being able to keep other plants besides Crips and Anubias, right? That's the way I see that. If I could just get, I gotta look up this equilibrium stuff. That's made by Seachem?
Love to Trip on Fish, aka RJ, said, "I learned a while back if you put your arm in the tap water for a while, Your body will soak up the chlorine quicker than the sunshine. Natural ways instead of adding chemicals. Window Licker #5 said, what meds do you have on hand? Do you have a general cure? Daniel Velez said Seachem.
Seachem, okay. Do I have on hand? Meds. I have... Ooh, damn, that just dug in the floor. What the hell? I have... Some of this stuff's probably out of date. I have Maricin. I have Canaplex. I have Paracleanse. I have Prazipro. Maricin Oxy. I got Ikex. Got Methylene Blue. More Maricin. What is this? This is Slime Out. You can use that in the Got it? And I don't know, I mean, I don't know what medications would do. I don't know. I just don't know. I feel like medicating him without knowing anything is just kind of like throwing darts, throwing stuff at a wall and see what sticks, you know what I mean? This is almost done. This, that, and then we'll start the other water change. And we'll look at this. All right. We're gonna have to take a moment here and do some thought experiments. Because Window Licker brought up a point. How many buckets would I need? Or whatever, trash cans. Because I think my RO is 150 gallons a day, so that's take it, you know, the most I could run it all day. I don't know, we'll
Window
see.
Licker #5 said maybe the blue in a 10-gallon. Would it hurt?
Methylene blue in the 10 gallon? I mean, the only thing it'll hurt was it'll stain the silicone, but I ain't too worried about that. I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, methylene blue is more like for body fungus and stuff, right? External parasites. I don't know, man. Sharks. Nobody else seems to be doing poorly in this tank but him. So I wonder what could happen. You're theoretically full. Just gonna overflow it a hot minute to fill up the sump.
"3G said, what about salt? Whip's World said, does anyone know how to contact Muppet?
I haven't heard that name in a while. I do not. Alright, this is probably pretty good. Our fish tanks are full. Close the lid.
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said, I use a whole house filter and it works fine. If not, I still haven't had issues.
I have a whole house filter that goes through 2 sediment and a carbon block. And this fill tube right here gets mixed with hot and cold water, so it's like temperature controlled. And then before it comes through this hose, it hits another carbon block filter. So that's what takes care of my chlorine or any of my whatever impurities might be in the water. But It's not doing anything for silicates. Yeah, and what is it? I ran the numbers on this a bunch of times, and the carbon block filters are about 80% effective about pulling chlorine out of water. So the first one does 80%, and the second one does the 80% of that, what's left. So I think if you run the math on that, 80% of 80% is pretty much almost nothing. If you do 100, this is roughly 100 parts per million, 80% would be 20. So 20 parts per million make it through. Then you take 80% of 20, what does that give you?
Dave's aquarium thoughts said,
like 8.
I don't even know my silicates, nor that we had to check for it.
Well, from what I understand, and this is what I was doing down the research tube, is that you can get a lot of brown algae, or diatom algae slash, what are they, there was a word they were using for it that wasn't diatom, but silicates and phosphates are a huge, I guess, problem in reef aquariums for creating algae issues or tank, you know, saltwater creating algae issues. A little water doesn't dry out. Turn this filter back on. Okay. We got pumps. We got pumps. All right, tanks are working. I'm gonna let that go for a hot minute. I'm gonna start the water change on this. So yeah, the 2 carbon blocks are, I think, good enough for me for running the removing the chlorine. I'm sure it's removing some other things, like the sediment filter obviously is removing anything physical. The and any other, like, whatever chemicals that I guess could be pulled out by the carbon. So I think 2 carbon blocks are pretty good. And hopefully my town never switches to, what do you call it, chloramines, because then I have to figure something else out. But I don't know. I'm half tempted for science to maybe try and remineralize this tank and see what happens. We can control the silica. It's everything back at like a standard. We just want standard water. That's it. I don't need anything crazy. My pH, my KH is real high all the time, which is really severely limits me on plants. A lot of fish don't take late, you know, it takes a little while to get them adjusted.
Daniel Velez said, that is why I used RODI for the salt tanks. No worries for silicates and phosphates.
Yeah, well.
The moneyless maven, Shirley, said, good day to you, sir.
Good day, and welcome. Yeah, the silicates, yes. Phosphates, from what I understand, come from the foods. So I think that's why my algae problem is out of control in the saltwater tank, is because of the phosphates. The Glass Scratcher 9000.
Whip's World said Shirley.
Shirley. Good morning, Shirley.
Alishan AS said, my town uses chloramine for most of the year.
Yeah.
They switch to chlorine a couple times a year. I use Hikari Ultimate, which neutralizes both.
Yeah, I think if Well, if I was going to do
The moneyless maven, Shirley, said,
RO thing.
"Ah, whip!"
If I was going to do the RO thing and then remineralize, I wouldn't really have to worry too much about that anymore, right? Pretty sure the RO system would strip out that through the filters.
Dave's aquarium thought said chloramine. Ugh!
Yep. Oh, I bumped the camera. I don't even know what we're looking at now. Looking at some jank. Go this way. Oh, not jank. There we go. Where's that Hoppo cat? Still hiding. Let's hope hopefully he comes out. Because I really don't want to have to go digging for him. Keep an eye on him. Bottom of the chat with Mike B. What's up, dude? Good morning. Alright, well, while this is cooking, I'm going to go over here and sit at my desk.
The moneyless
Contemplate
maven, Shirley,
reality.
said roar.
Rawr. Okay, we're going to put this...
Dave's aquarium
Make this up
thought
a
said
little
my
bit.
water district may or may not use chloramine, depending on where they source it at any given time.
Interesting. No, mine seems to be pretty stuck on, well, I guess, and they don't even have to tell you if they change, right? So, I guess that's a scary proposition. All right, let's see. Take a sit. I'm gonna come over here. Now I need to do math, okay? I'm gonna count up all my tanks and how many gallons they are. I have a 29, 20.
PNW Aqua said Roaphos claims to remove phosphate and silicates. I think they're also filter pads that claim to remove silicates.
I'm gonna
Dave's
call these
aquarium
60
thought said it
gallons.
gets worse when they shock the system with chlorine.
Yeah. 9, 29, 33, 20, 20, 17, 10, 125, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 75, 90, 17, 10, 75, 75. I think, is that right? 835 gallons? That's just fresh water. I didn't count the salt water. Plus another 40 for the salt. 875 gallons? Does that seem right? Got 429s. All right, whatever. Let's say 900 gallons. I was going to do 20% water changes.
Alishan AS said, my water company does notify customers by text and email when they
Well, that's
switch
cool.
from chloramine to chlorine.
That's good. That's good.
Love to trip on fish, aka RJ, said just remember that your dad is a mother underscore 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 underscore.
That's right.
Fisherman64 said take off your shoes after 10 is 11.
There you go. Thank God for you, man. Okay, so 20% of 900 is 180. So that's a lot of gallons. And the tank, the RO thing does 150 a day? Is that what I said? Hang on, let me look at the system. 150 gallons per day. So, yeah, I guess that's the most I could do in a day. That'd be a lot of water changes. That'd be my whole fish room, every tank, 20%. So, I don't think I'll be doing that on a regular. Where are these texts? What's happening here? Happy Father's Day. Thanks. Safe on your trip. All right. Sorry. Happy Father's Day. Okay. So now, equilibrium. That's what we were talking about. Oh, we never actually looked at this. You can look at it now. We were up slightly. This is where we're at this week. We were up slightly on EDSs. Went from 398 to 427, so almost 30 points. The nitrates, they really dropped, and they kind of started coming back up. So got that. And the phosphates, a little higher than last week. Whoa, what did I just do? You know how I did that. What is going on here? Enough. All right, anyway. Up a little bit from last week, only 2 points. So that's what we're looking at. Oh, and of course the silicates are still over too. Because 2 is the highest the low range reads. Anything higher than that is just going to give you a false or whatever. An error, essentially. So yeah, we're above 2.0. Oh yeah, equilibrium. We'll look this up. C-chem. That's a G. Chem. Equilibrium. Alright, yeah, they got their own. Yeah, let's look at their webpage here. Let's together, shall we? Find a dealer. Stores and maintains mineral balance in GH. Does not contain sodium or chloride, which is a good thing because I believe, depending on some of the salts, that actually adds silicates when they do this. pH, we have alkaline buffer. Does it interize any chlorides or sulfates? Balance from the guaranteed analysis is from sulfate and water of hydration. What? Okay, so this is like a non-answer. Does not introduce any chlorides. I'm guessing there are sulfates.
P&W Aqua said I used to have to find a dealer, but now my state is legal.
So general hardness due to its mineral concentration does not contain any nitrogenous pollutants. Does not contain any phosphates. Yeah. Now, directions. 1 tablespoon for every 20 gallons. Huh. Interesting. Huh. I don't know. This is definitely something to think about. If I was going to do that, let's see, let's figure 8. 20 gallons. I would need another trash can. $20 gallons would do the 75, 20%. Obviously, if I was going to start remineralizing, I would have to start slow. Don't want to shock anything, right? Take a while.
Congratulations,
Uh-oh.
the moneyless maven, Shirley, on the membership milestone.
Woot!
The moneyless maven, Shirley, has been an extraordinary acquirist for 6 months.
Right on, right on. Congrats. Oh.
Andy Carson said last night on Skipper's auction there was talk of Nereid snails liking BBA. Not that I want to make food competition for the Gara, but have you thought about trying them?
I have thought
Victor
about trying
C.
them.
said liked.
Well, thank you, Victor. Everybody else should hit that like too. Yeah. Nereid snails, hang on. I'm gonna sneeze. Alright. Get over here. Get over here. Get mad at me. Don't you get mad at me. What? Just a sneeze. Not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna sneeze your brains out. That's right, you dirty puppy. Alright. Nereid snails. Yes, I used to have Nereid snails, and I had Nereid snails in a tank that was probably, believe it or not, worse than this.
Congratulations, Jenny Lynn,
The
on the
BBA.
membership milestone.
Jenny
Lynn
Lynn!
has been an extraordinary aquarist for 21 months.
Congrats!
The moneyless maven, Shirley, said your panda Garas aren't eating the BBA. My panda had mine gone on a few days.
Yeah, maybe I'm not starving them enough. Seems like that one patch right there that one is on that they always clean up. I don't know if that's because the power head hits that too. I'm not sure. But as you can see, the one that's there kind of skimming it. Moved to MO to be closer to work and cheaper taxes, but my dad has been tempting me about Tennessee.
Windowlicker Hash 5 said
Yeah.
I'm not sure this is the right rabbit hole. It would seem a lot to dial in and maintain. What's the end game? Your fish are healthy now, right?
Yeah. I don't know if it'd be a lot to dial in. I think it would be fill the trash can up with RO water. Throw in a couple of spoonfuls of the mineral remineralizer and do 20% water changes until
The moneyless maven, Shirley, said all rabbit holes are the correct rabbit holes.
That's
Ask Alice.
right. Yeah. I don't know. We're here in the pursuit of science, I guess. Or knowledge.
Victor C. said at depths unknown. Thanks for live streaming.
Well, thank you, Victor, for being here.
CR Pish, Cheryl Smith, said the Siamese algae eaters have done a great job controlling the BBA, so it doesn't appear to overtake all the plants.
There's that. Anyway, the Nereid snails I was talking about, I did have I had it in a 55 tank that was actually had worse BBA than this. Like everything was covered. I used to have to every day clean the intake off of the filter because it would just choke up with BBA. It had a ton of Nereids in there. So I don't know how much they eat. Well, then again, my tank is obviously out of control. But the other problem with nerites is they leave those stupid little eggs everywhere, man. And I hate that. That used to drive me crazy. Just have little white dots on everything. All the glass on the stupid logs, driftwood, decos, whatever. Not a fan. So that's the only reason I really not a fan of nerite snails. Be cool if they didn't leave little eggs everywhere that never go away and never dissolve. And they just keep adding more and more and more. So not only do they have BBA everywhere, I had little white dots everywhere. So I'm sure they will eat BBA. But I guess that goes back to the thing that like they're gonna eat BBA, the BBA, if there's nothing better to eat. Maybe I was just feeding other stuff and they were eating that and not the BBA, which might be what's happening with the Pandagaras. Or I guarantee if I had a Siamese algae eater, probably the same thing. Maybe I'm just feeding too much. Although I've kind of dialed that back down a little bit too. I think we're at a good place with the feeding. Rabbit hole will be a challenge when she's 10 feet tall. That's right. Be a big rabbit hole. So, the remineralizing, what that would solve, what it would give me a standard water every single time, right?
The
As
moneyless
opposed to
maven, Shirley said.
whatever's coming out of my tap. The moneyless maven surely said. That's all I heard. Didn't say anything. Oops. Moneyless maven surely said, oops.
CR Pish, Cheryl Smith said Jason, what quarries are in this tank?
Adolphois. And I think that's the only one left. I used to have a colony. I don't know, 6. Had them for a while, but good long while.
Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, said I never had a problem with
2016?
nerite snail eggs. They always dissolve, and so do the parents' shells.
See, that's probably very
The
true for
moneyless
you.
maven, Shirley, said
And
100% the bot thing made me do it.
yeah, and why I think there,
3G said, when I buy
Jeff.
nerite snails, each one goes in separate tank. Any eggs that one goes to LFS.
There you go. I think maybe your water's a little different, like more on the acidic side, or not so alkaline, because that probably helps dissolve down the
Window
nerite
Licker
snail
Hash
egg.
5 said, are
But
any
my
of your
tanks
tanks
are
just aquarium rocks?
very high.
And do they have any BBA? Your bare bottom tanks don't have any BBA.
They have some. Well, they start to get some in like places, but that's not entirely true. We can look at it. But I was just saying, Jeff, I think your water is probably a little bit less alkaline than mine because those eggs go nowhere. Like that calcium or whatever, it doesn't get dissolved. It just stays for a long, long time. So maybe that's the big difference. All right, this is pretty much good on the water change, I think. Done like a 50% water change here. I don't know, man. I'm not like 100% sold on this remineralizing thing, but I do think it might help. At least give me a clue that I'm heading in the right direction.
Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, said very acidic pond snail are about the only snail that can survive in it long term.
There you go.
3G said, if DG has a tank without BBA, he adds it quickly.
Yes. Can't have you guys seeing my clean tanks. All right. Let's Yeah, I don't know. Got a bunch of mysteries going on here. Let's see. I mean, I do have some tanks that, you know, don't have all. This tank doesn't have any BBA, at least that I can see. Yeah, I might have spoke too soon. I think there's some back there on the filter. But, and this lily, whatever this thing, tiger lily, been losing leaves. I don't know. I don't know if it likes my water. I did notice these were looking a little pale, so I added some ferts in this tank. So hopefully that will help.
Andy
Not too much
Carson
BBA
said
in
you
there.
don't need to roadie and remineralize the whole fish room.
No,
Just try the Gara tank.
that's what I was saying. Just to see, for science. We're going to check it out for science.
Whip's World said one pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you small. And the ones that Mother gives you don't do anything at all. Go
This is
ask
true.
Alice. When she's 10 feet tall.
Go ask Alice.
C.R. Pish, Cheryl Smith, said Red Tiger Lotus are heavy root feeders. Mine need more ferts.
Okay, okay. Alright. I'll make sure I keep that tank fertilized on a regular.
P&W Aqua said you should pull those plants out of the rock wool and put them in some substrate.
Yes. Yes. I agree. We were talking about putting the in that 17 gallon with the Madakas. At least some of these. They do well in there. I don't know. We should put the Tiger Lotus in there. See what happens. Put some root tabs in there too, maybe. All right. What would I need? I need another. Or I could just use the same one, I guess, but I would have to alternate. Whether it was salt or whether it was being remineralized. Right? Or I would need another trash can all around. Alright, the Hoplocat's back out. Maybe I should grab him while I can.
Whip's World said C.R. Fish, Cheryl Smith. I just got that when AI Rachel read it out loud. Jesus, I'm thick sometimes. Okay, most of the time.
All the time? You're like, hey now. Let me know if that tank is starting to overflow. I'm not looking at it. Trying to get my big ass net. The feeling I might need it for this guy. And it's starting to get there. Almost full. In there. I don't know how I'm going to catch this guy without making a big mess. hang in there, buddy.
C.R. Pish, Cheryl Smith, said Lamau Whip, you're not the only one.
Lamau. All right, buddy. Just get in there. All right, we got you. We got you. Hang tight. Don't do any flipping. Don't do any flipping. Back in the water in a second. There you go. All right, he's in the 10-gallon. Oops. Hang on. I know. Let's rinse this off real quick before it overflows. Okay. Set that there to dry. Go back over here. Let's stop this from beeping. Okay. Close these lids so nobody jumps out. Okay. Same thing with this. Close the lid on that, and hopefully this guy will be okay. Worry me, little dude. Oh, my God. Almost full. I'm going to start this up. Cool, cool. That's good enough.
Love 2 Trip on Fish, aka RJ, said C, our fish is so hard for some people than C.R. Pish.
Ow. Yep. All right. All right, that's that. That. So we have 75 done. Did the 125. We did the 17. Everything else is sealed up, ready to go. Lids are closed. This needs to go out in the tub. Put this lid on. Just for a second. Set this here for a sec. Actually, I can't take the camera out there and I can't take my headset out there. But I'm going to throw this in the tub real quick so I don't forget and it doesn't sit out here and dry. So I will be back in 2 minutes. Be right back.
Whip's World said Google, set an alarm for 2 minutes. Window Liquor Hash 5 said how about the salt thing for the hoppo? What is it for a 10-1 tablespoon? The Moneyless Maven, Shirley, said today is going to rock. I can already tell by how great it started out. Asterisk sarcasm asterisk.
Back. Sorry about that. Where is my phone? Dun dun dun. Dun dun.
Daniel Velez said, "Did I see a goby in that tank? What type is it?"
Rainbow. Staphodon ornatus. I believe is what they're called. Did I see in the... Yeah, there's a rainbow goby in here. There is a Adolphi Corey. There are 8 Pandagaras, 2 Geo Vegas pyrocephalus, 1 firemouth, 1 festivum, and there is a 333 in there somewhere. And I think that's it.
Fisherman64 said Stiffordon was my nickname name in college.
Is that in the upper corner there? Is that a reflection? What is that? Oh yeah, there's a reflection. Okay. It's a reflection of the jar. That is pretty nasty at the moment. Yeah. Alright, so Diphodon. Alright. If we were going to do this remineralization, it would be kind of interesting to see, right? I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to successfully remove any silicates, to see if that is part of the problem, right? Let's see. If I remove the silicates, I start with RO water and just remineralize, it shouldn't really change anything because the phosphates, well, the nitrates will be lower because there's nitrates in my tap water, right? Tank. Yeah, last time we tested the tap water, we had 23.9 nitrates. Look, right at the top here. This is done in April, the end of April. And the last time we did it was in November. So between 18 and 24 nitrates. Last time we tested, well, today when we tested with 18, so the tank is probably consuming some of these.
Fishymon64 said today is Chattanooga Ed's birthday.
Well, no, it's not. Is it? I don't think it is. I think you're lying to me. But if it is, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Ed. That's right, like him and I are like almost really like the same age. Apparently, if it's true, I'm 15, 3 weeks older than him. That's it.
PNWW Aqua said, should you test the Rhody first to make sure your membrane is removing the silicates?
We
Fisherman64
did.
said I seen it on Facebook.
Well, congrats, Ed. Happy birthday. We did test the Rhody, and it came through. Tap water came through at above 2.0. The tank came through at above 2.0, and the Rhody unit came through at 0.0. So, assuming everything was working fine on the Rhody, it was removing everything. And I think the TDSs last time I checked, and the thing was like 1. So, I think the filters, we just changed the filters not too long ago. At least
Skipper's
the
Aquarium
sediment and
said I
DI.
am back.
Welcome back. So I think if I got a trash can with some wheels, I got some misequilibrium, I was trying to think how big of a trash can. I'll just get us some, probably the same size that I have the salt water in. Guess that's what I should look up. You guys come back to looking fish. I will look up Home Depot. See what actual sizes they are. Stop guessing. Like how in the middle of typing it decides that, oh no, we need to open up this window offer so you can't type while you're typing anymore. Because you know, web design is done by complete idiots. All right. I just saw the stupid door trap. I have a 32 gallon, a 44 gallon. Why does he keep doing that?
Window Liquor #5 said, did the BBA come back in the green rock tank?
It's starting to.
Whips World said,
It is
Skip
starting
Daddy! Good morning, sir. Was I a good boy last night?
to.
Or did I buy stupid shite again? 3G said, do I need to send you a few million scuds?
That would work. All right, let's see if I just sort this by Rubbermaid because that's what I'm looking for. I have a 32 gallon, a 44 gallon. Yeah, I think the big one I have is 44. The saltwater one's a 32, and I have like the small one. I don't even know. Stock and stored today. I probably get the 32 gallon just to whatever. Mix up 20, 30 gallons and do the water changes of that. That would be something. I would do the bypass the water change. That way, kind of slowly
Skipper's
changing the
Aquarium said you were
parameters.
a good boy, Whip. You bought some pretty nice crap.
I saw that was happening kind of after I was out with a previous engagement last night, so I wasn't going to be able to make it. But by the time I got done, it was over. So I apologize. I probably would have bought something too, because I have no impulse control. I got to think about this, guys. I don't know. I kind of do want to do this just to see. But we got to do it in a slow, methodical way so that we don't shock anything. Changes happen gradually over a couple of weeks, I would assume. 4, 5. If I were to do, let's say 30 gallons.
Fisherman
25 gallons.
64 said Jazrin was out with his real friends.
That's right. If I did 25 gallons, that's what? 33% water change. Right? Yes. So 30% water change. But it would be not taking 30 gallons out, adding 30 gallons in. It would be flushing 30 gallons in while 30 gallons are being flushed out. There is a difference. Drastically reduce. I wonder how long it would take to actually make the tank. Well, these are all things we're going to have to test, man. So, what I should do is grab my trusty handy book here. It's sitting right next to me. I got from Patty.
Skipper's Aquarium said Fisherman, he says that every auction lol.
Try to avoid for my wallet's sake. All right, so trash can, equilibrium. We would need another pump. The pump I have is slow and I don't feel like waiting for eternity. That's it. That's all I need. Then we would have to do, what else were we going to do? We were talking about something else. Not talking about this tank. something else I needed to do.
Skipper's aquarium said Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there.
That's right. Happy Father's Day. Just told you a prank. I had it in my head a second ago. Talking about remineralizing, so I need that stuff. I was talking. Oh, the fry setup. Man, we need to figure that out. Fry setup. Oh, I am such a man. This is unchecked. ADHD, man. Was that Dave's aquarium? That
Andy Carson
sent me that
said,
link.
put the Red
Hang on.
Lotus in with the Medica.
That's a good idea. We were gonna do that too. Hang on. I don't have this much of attention span. I gotta get to my email. I gotta look at this video that he sent me like an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Email. No, I don't want to switch. I care about your stupid browser. Random thoughts. Here we go. Video. I know Window Licker put it in there too, but all right. Here we go. We're gonna look. Already queued up here. I guess we'll put the desktop audio on. You're probably hearing me twice.
It rolls right onto the ground in front of the patio. So, but basically, what this is a. Some of you might know what this is. This is an overflow, which basically, if the water on the aquarium gets too high, it will drain out. So you can probably see where this is going. What I'm doing on this is I'm going to be having a automatic water change system going, and that is part of it, along with this piece. This is going to be part of it, as well as this long tube right here.
We're watching some videos here, guys.
So basically, as you know, most water systems are treated with chlorine. My system actually also could use chloramine. It's not definite, but is a possibility because some of the water that my water district does purchase is treated with chloramine.
Dave's aquarium thoughts said link to how to make it from another channel is in that video description.
Oh, I see.
In their water. They might not add it in, but they might at some point purchase water that has chloramine in it. So when you're treating stuff, you do need to find out that information. But basically what this guy is, this is going to be my...
I think we passed that part already, right?
Chlorine and chloramine.
So you were just
Chloramine
showing...
is as well with automatic where this is going.
Back this up. This is what you're talking about. The link is in the description. I'm just not seeing it. Not seeing any links for your Amazon. Wait, these are links. Okay, I didn't realize that.
The Nano Aquarium guy said, "Good morning, all. Happy Father's Day."
That's what we're looking at. All
Big
right.
old mess.
The 30-minute video. We're not watching that. Look at the highlights now.
Even just a little bit more, just a smidge. About there. That's a pretty tight fit. Yeah, go like this.
All right,
There
this is
we
looking
go.
familiar.
So we have our angles cut, and now this is going to get fed through.
So that's the
here,
same.
Okay.
This is the same thing,
So
except
this
it's a little different than what I
is gonna
made.
go
Instead of
into the
using
one
that,
cell,
I use
and we
CPVC.
want it, and actually,
Interesting.
yeah. See,
So I don't know. These
And then
holes.
just turn this guy like this. This is in a pretty good position right here. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that this is the bottom. Or excuse me, come out. Okay. So first things first, we'll start with one side here. Down here, which the tube goes out and lets it out here, and then it flows up this PVC pipe and out. That's how it works. It's physics. Here is the water.
Let's hear his description.
Love to trip on fish, aka RJ. Said I was just admiring your PVC split, so water is bi-directional and not stirring up the bottom.
Yeah, thanks. It's just a T, T on the end of it.
So as you can see, right now the water's flowing out because it is going into the inlets. So what happens here is the water goes down the PVC pipe to where the primed tube is. And then it forces its way through the tube.
I guess the benefit of that would be I could see if the tube,
out here, and then it flows up this PVC pipe. And
I could see this if this was getting locked with air. I think what is happening in my system is somehow air is getting up this tube, and it starts slowing this water bridge down because like there's air bubbles in here instead of being a full volume of water. Now it only has a little less because there's air. I think that's what's causing my problems. What I need to do to stop that? I don't know. Maybe I do need to drill more holes. Try it. Let's try it. We'll drill some holes and we'll go from there. And we'll test it and we'll let it run and see maybe it is just a lack of holes. So
Dave's aquarium thought said maybe your PVC isn't going down far enough in the tube.
I have it resting. Maybe. I think. Don't know. Maybe I'm not getting enough air or enough water in the holes so that it's creating like a bubbling situation, and then the air bubbles, like I've said, I think air bubbles are getting up in it. That's my big problem. So maybe let me get the drill. Hang on a sec here, puppy. You stay there, puppy. I gotta find my drill bit, or my upstairs. That's why. Let me get a drill bit. Let me get my drill. I'll be back. We're gonna add some holes. We're gonna set this up again, and we're gonna see.
Daniel Velez said, "Do you think the size of your PVC pipe has anything to do with it? The tube he is using is a smaller diameter than the PVC you are using. In other words, not enough flow."
Yeah, well, it's 1/2 inch, which is yeah, I was talking about that earlier. It's fine for a while. It just starts to slow down. Like so. Why is it slowing down? That's my question. And I think it's slowing down because there's air getting in the system, which is what's causing the problem. Where the hell are my drills? Is it out here? Yes. I wonder I can't find it.
Deb's Aquapet said, "Hi Jason and everyone, I've been lurking doing water changes."
What's up, Deb? Good day, Debbie. Since Fishroom isn't here to do that for you anymore. Drill bits are right here. I think I got everything I need. Put this battery back. All right. Head back downstairs. All right. Power tools are in hand. Be warned. Now, gotta figure out what size hole I drilled this last time. Try it like that. What was the hole? This is it. Perfect. Here. You guys want to see me get injured, I know. So, here we go. Bear with me a sec. This gets out of the way. Now I'd have to do it at this angle. I'm gonna drill through my chair. It's horrible. Do this angle.
Window Licker Hash 5 said what's wrong with just the tube and gravity siphon?
There's no protection for sucking up fish. And essentially that's what we have, is a tube and gravity siphon. But this is more like a... You'd have to set... The tube and gravity siphon would just keep siphoning till the bottom... Let's say the power goes out, right? Siphon to wherever you have the bottom of the tube set. What this does is basically create the bottom of the tube's down here, but this creates a level that it won't go past because the water will stop flowing here into the tube. As opposed to if I didn't have that, it would just drain down to this part. Then there's also, you got to worry about what's over this end. You're not sucking up little fish, little fry. I guess it's also easier to break that siphon than anything. Water. I'm just gonna rinse this real quick, make sure we get all the plastic gunk out of there. Alright. We got more holes. Clearly not even, but so now there's pretty much holes around this whole thing. I guess I could have been better at that. Let's put this back in there. Now I have these at a slight angle, which maybe I shouldn't have done. But that was more or less so that it didn't sit flat on the bottom there and kind of choke itself off. But let's go over here. Let's set this back up a hair so we can see a little bit more. Okay. Oh, I hate these freaking lids with a goddamn passion.
Window Licker
thank God that
Hash
didn't
5
break.
said the sucking up fry and power outage. Yep, not good.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna start to siphon another tank here, just because space is very tight and limited inside that 5-gallon, so I'm just gonna use this 75 here. Make sure I get every bit of air out of this system. Okay. That back in there. Grab this. As far as I'm concerned, I think part making sure that this stays. Jaffa. The water's high enough in here yet. So let's turn the pump on, see what happens.
Love to trip on fish, aka RJ said live laugh loach.
Live laugh loach. Live laugh loach. All right, we got water pumping in the top here. Start filling up that top tank, which will start draining down here. I might have to add some water into this, so let me get some roadie. Oh, my back. Oh. I think I've been evaporating some water here. That for now. Got water chugging down. Have that little mesh on there just to kind of stop babies from flowing in that hole. Because these guys are kind of little. Let's see what happens here. All right, we got water flowing out. Good. Stupid freaking lids. I don't know why they don't make the lid big enough to actually fit on the tank. Saving that whole 1/4 inch of glass. The other issue you got to worry about is this bottom tank will start draining because all the other water is being held in the other tanks. Right? This tank is the one that gets low. And this filter, or this pump, is like really noisy. That's my other beef about this. But, here, I'm just going to add it to the top tank because it's easier. We'll see. Basically, this is how I gauge this.
Window Licker #5 said where's the clicker it needs to be clicked.
What?
Hello.
Why? What are we looking at? Not looking at, oh, I'm still looking at websites? No. It needs to be clicked. Oh, we still have desktop audio. It's probably hearing me twice. That should be better. Why does the clicker need to be clicked? Oh, I think I know why. I understand.
SWFL Aquatics
There we
said
go.
pros and cons pantyhose versus sponge on intake.
There's an idea. Yes. I have to get some pantyhose from Fishroom. He's the only one I know that wears them. Alright, we're going to fill this up. This is kind of how...
#5 said bingo.
Bingo. How did I do this last time? Let's try. Put this in the front. This in the back. Like there-ish. Whatever. Clearly I have to play with that. Push this down so they're not so pokey. Nope, nope. We'll just set it here on this glass. How about that? There we go. Now if it gets too high, before it overflows, it'll warn me. The other thing I'd like to do here, while we're standing here looking at this, is Get a marker. Bronze marker. I'm going to put an ever so slight little mark right there. That's where the current water level is. You need to add a little more water to that too. And now we should have warmer water flowing through all these tanks. Eventually it'll heat up all to the same temp. Those little babies. Guess we'll just let it run. Let it run for a few hours. It's on here, so keep some heat in. Do need to add a little more, probably another gallon. But I gotta let it fill up first. Yeah, we'll let this run. It'll probably run another week. Go from there. I'm filling up an RO jug so that we can let that it's gonna take a few minutes. Let's put it that way. Alright. Oh, if I can stand up straight, it'd be great. Yeah, probably not another 5-10 minutes. And that'll be good. I think that's probably about it, guys. I'll let this run for hours, days. See what happens. You can see all the babies. Good. What in did you see what I just saw? Unless that's a reflection. That might be a reflection. Holy cow. I think that is a reflection. Yeah, okay. Woo! I was like, did I just see like big fish on the glass there? You can see it? But yeah, that's a reflection of the other tank. Okay. I was like, what is in this tank? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, if this works, ideally, we could do what Scotty the Fish Freak said. And
Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane,
find some
said the
pre-drilled 5
ghost of
gallons.
fishies past.
Yeah, yeah. You ain't wrong. Yeah, we try and find some pre-drilled 5-gallon tanks. Just a possibility. That would actually be a good possibility. Maybe I should look that up. You know, Band app has a lot of that stuff usually. Selling stuff. Where we go with the overflows like this. Try and get this to work better. Find out why we keep choking up. Maybe it is a design flaw in the one I made. Wish there was a surge feed. Aquarium Club of Lancaster County keeps sending me these texts to buy concert tickets. I don't understand that. Why? To me, it sounds like a scam. Is there a way to search? Guess not. Oh yeah, there is. Hang on, there it is. 5-gallon. 5-gallon. What? No. Nope. I have to search a little harder on that. We'll take a look. So far, do not send out text. Yeah, I understand
Empire of
that.
Dirt Aquatics.
It's
Jeff Kane
whatever
said try
it
the
is.
3 days print design for science.
I do gotta set that up.
Whip's World said, "Are you not entertained?"
up.
Jason, it's never a good idea to listen to what Scotty has to say. Like, ever.
It's on the band app. There's like it's the chat channel, whatever.
Window Licker #5 said, "Is there a glass cutting place? Maybe it won't
Yes.
cost too much for them to cut it. Or maybe have them cut glass to make one."
I did think about that. I do think do 3D printing that overflow box might be a good way to start. Mont. Yeah, what was I trying to say? It's like the Aquarium Club of Lancaster County default group chat room. People like selling concerts. They were, first of all, it was Taylor Swift, and then it was The Weeknd. And that's when I stopped paying attention to that default chat. Looks like one of them was removed or reported. So I can set up the 3D printer.
Andy Carson
3D
said,
print that box.
"Thanks for the stream, Jason.
No problem.
Happy Dad's Day to all of the dads.
That's right.
Everyone
Happy Father's
enjoy
Day.
the rest of your weekend."
I'll let this run. We'll see if that water level changes over time. So far, it looks like it's holding, which is good.
Geek Boy said middle finger emoji.
Congratulations,
Thanks,
Andy
Geek Boy.
Carson, on the membership milestone. Andy Carson has been an extraordinary aquarist for 18 months.
Right on, Andy. Congrats. Yeah. So I got off all week. I'm on vacation, so I might set up that 3D printer and see what I can get chooching out of that.
Congratulations,
Test it.
Fishyman 64 on the membership milestone.
God.
Fishyman 64 has been an extraordinary aquarist for 21 months.
Well, congrats.
Congratulations, PNW Aqua, on the membership milestone. PNW Aqua has been an extraordinary aquarist for 20 months.
Yeah, boy. Congrats. All right, let me.
Congratulations, Nancy B. in Tennessee, on the membership milestone.
Here comes the
Nancy B. in
rain
Tennessee
again,
has been an
falling
extraordinary
on my
aquarist
head
for
like a
17 months.
memory.
Congrats.
Falling on my head
Congratulations,
like
Empire
a
of Dirt
new
Aquatics, Jeff Kane, on the
emotion.
membership milestone. Empire of Dirt Aquatics, Jeff Kane, has been an extraordinary aquarist for 21 months.
Man.
Congratulations, Skipper's Aquariums, on the membership milestone. Skipper's Aquariums has been an extraordinary aquarist for 7 months. Congratulations, Deb's
There we go.
Aqua Pets, on the membership milestone. Deb's Aqua Pets has been an extraordinary aquarist for 19 months. Congratulations, 3G, on the membership milestone. 3G has been an extraordinary aquarist for 21 months.
I don't even know if we're going to get a word
Andy
in here.
Carson said, "This is the place to be."
This is the place to be. I appreciate that. Thanks, everybody. Congrats all you members, man. That's awesome. I guess I have to make sure you have an emoji for when we hit 2 years. I don't even know if I do. I gotta check on that. It's been a while. I didn't know I'd ever get to this point. Yeah. All right. So what was I saying? Totally lost my thought. Oh yeah. We'll run this, see what happens. Maybe the more holes was the solution. Maybe I just didn't, you know. If that doesn't work, I'll try that overflow box. That might be another solution. We
Geek
will
Boy said I've
3D
got an
print that.
emoji for that.
I know you do. And if that doesn't work, I guess I can try and find some pre-drilled 5-gallon tanks. That would be interesting. I did think about upgrading to 10 gallons, but then I have to get a whole new rack and all that good stuff, or I gotta try and squeeze it in this space would not work as well. So I don't know if I need bigger tanks just to make.
Window Liquor #5
That's
said
it.
make them all walk the plank. Alol.
That's it. Everybody off my boat. But yeah, I'll have to work on that idea. So we have more holes doesn't work. Maybe the 3D printed overflow box. If that doesn't work, then maybe some pre-drilled tanks, which might actually be a better idea to begin with. Maybe I should look for that first while I 3D print and test this. So this is a work in progress, folks. I'll keep you posted on the Haplocat. Hopefully he doesn't do horrible. He's not looking so good. I'm gonna
Whips
give you
World
that.
said you can definitely have glass cur to fit. I did that for one of my 150S to keep TG Arowana in. It was pricey but worth it.
Oh yeah,
My
dude,
glass was thick though.
I had
1/4 inches, I think.
I've had glass cut. Well, there's a place I go to, not too far from here, that cuts glass, and I've used it for the baffles in all my sumps. I've gotten glass cut from them. I've used it in a lot of lids on some tanks, like the ones that I slide on top of each other with that little track. Gotten the glass cut from those. Yeah, so I have a glass place. Jack's Glass, as a matter of fact. Jack's Glass has done me good. Yeah, so that's an idea. It's definitely, it's not the cheaper option, that's for sure. But that's not a bad, it's not a bad idea. An idea. Put it that way. I mean, I could try and salvage the one that I just broke by taking that paint off. Maybe putting a pre-drilled paint in there. That's not a bad idea. And that same road, I could just probably salvage the one outside too that I broke. Still have it. So far, I've broken, what, 3 of those tanks? One of them is still in service, so.
PNW Aqua said shout out to Dax Glass.
Jack! Jack's Glass. Jack's Glass is my man. No, that's cool.
Dave's Aquarium Thoughts said replace the pane with thicker glass.
Yeah, and then drill it. Well, if I was going to replace the gland, maybe paint, I would probably pre-drill it before I replaced it. I don't know if I could replace it with a thicker pane because it's got a bottom rim that it rests on. So it's got to fit in that rim. We have options. I think this week we're just going to let that run, see if this water level changes,
Dave's
if maybe those extra
Aquarium
holes worked.
said yes, drill first.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll figure it out, man. We'll get there. I'll bring you guys with me so you can all check it out. You can watch all the mistakes I make along the way. So you can learn and not do what I do. All right, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Hope you have a good day. Celebrate with whoever you want to celebrate with. I'm going to go see my family in a little while. I'm going to go eat some lunch first. But I will catch you all, guys. Same place
Window Liquor
next week.
#5 said add a little salt to save the hopo.
Yeah, I will try. I will put a little dash of aquarium salt in there. And
Empire of the Aquatics, Jeff Kane, said, and we can make fun of you while you do it.
I expect nothing less. Yeah, we're going to go try and take care of that Hoplocat real quick. Yeah, guys, we'll see you next week. Same place, same channel, same time. If you haven't hit the like, please do. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Got any questions or comments? Feel free to leave it below. I do answer all my questions and read all my comments. If you have anything you want to email me, feel free to email me. What I just do? I pushed the wrong button. Yeah, anything you want to show off, let me know about. Send the email there. Otherwise, I'll see you guys all next week. Thanks for everything. See ya. Bye.